Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Brandon. I'm Dana Franklin, publisher of Mountain Neighbors in Abbotsford and media consultant with Best Version Media. And I'm excited to show you what we do and where we do it as well. Because as you all know, I am based here in Abbotsford. However, I can work all over Canada, actually. So what I'm going to show you right now is a few snippets from the presentation that I would show anybody that I'm meeting with. And as you can see, we are all about bringing people together in communities. And let me first of all show you a few examples of where we work. I'm just going to flip through this pretty quickly. Here's where I work with my publication that I'm fully, the Mountain Neighbors. In East Abbotsford, you'll see Eagle Mountain, Glen Mountain, Lower Sumas Mountain. Here are a few of my most recent publications. And you'll notice that we do have an integrated print and digital approach. Recent studies have shown that there's a 400% increase, a 4 times increase for businesses who use both print and digital approach, that there's so much more response. And here's another one, Bear Mountain in Victoria. We have several publications on the island. And here's another one up in the Kelowna area. We have 3 or 4 publications up in this area. Here's Glenmore Highlands Living and more of the publications. You'll notice a running theme that we typically have someone who lives in the area on the cover. And so we get to know them. And Kitsilano, here's our Kit Speech publication. And here's another one, North Vancouver. My point of showing you all of these maps and publications is to let you know that I can actually help businesses in any of these areas, and we have more. And I can, that's even across Toronto or Winnipeg or wherever, I can actually help folks. And sometimes people have businesses in various areas, and they would not have to have a different publisher for each publication. One person can handle their account. And quickly on this page, what I want to show you is that, yes, I do partner with Best Version Media, who got going in 2007 with just 6 magazines. But the most important aspect was that they had an idea how to use print media to make it much more engaging. And if you think about 2007, that if you're going into print media, that might be like saying, hey, let's invest in cassettes or VHS. People were a little astounded. However, they tested the waters and incubated for about 5 years. And in 2012, started doing what we're doing now. And boom, we've had this crazy growth rate. The numbers at the top of each column represent how many magazines went out each year. So last year, around 41.5 million magazines went out across North America. So now there are publications in every province and every state in the US. They've gotten all sorts of awards. So the question, of course, is, well, why? Why the growth? Well, it's just because we reach your neighbors. And we're really just combining the old technology of print media, but with the newer idea of social media. So our publications are like social media in print form, because everyone has a voice, everyone can contribute. It's about the neighbors, and we have content in the publications from the neighbors. And we have that digital touch with Facebook, Google Display, and now BVM Sports. But what I want to show you right now, everybody, it's really the quickest way to help you know what we do and why we do it across all of our publications. I'm going to show you this video, and I think you're going to be able to hear the sound. I've optimized it for the sound. So here we go.
Best Version Media has featured so many incredible people. In fact, Grammy Award winners, professional athletes, Super Bowl winners, and former presidents. We don't do it because of their fame. We do it because they're your neighbor, and that's what makes our magazines work. Whether it's the Smiths or the Johnsons, you want to know about your neighbor because they're in your community. That's why we deliver millions of magazines every year, and we're one of the fastest growing privately held media companies in all of North America. There's no other competitor that has the footprint that we have in the targeted print industry. Everybody loves their neighbor, and that's why people love BVM. So why did we get such a foothold on the market? Well, for decades, each town or city had a few radio stations, TV stations, and a newspaper. So if you placed an ad, it was seen. But with the advancement of technology, advertising became diluted and dissipated. Thousands of cable satellite stations grew up out of nowhere, along with the ability to record, fast-forward commercials, stream music, search millions of websites, etc., etc. That diluted branding and scattered messages. Old print died. No news there. But many businesses turned to social media because it was new and exciting. They found that it's very expensive, though, and hard to make work without hired help. By the time they figure it out, the platforms and algorithms change over and over again. So going back to old media wasn't an option because the local magazine, TV, or radio stations are outrageous in cost and splash your message way beyond a usable reach, wasting all of your money. So BVM saw an opening and became an industry disruptor by helping create something now called new print. We did what nobody else could do in a way that nobody else could do it. We took what worked online and put it into the predictability of print. That's why we're called the Facebook of print media. We micro-target communities and highlight local residents. It works for a very simple reason. When you get a local magazine and you know the person on the cover, or at least you know they walk their dog in front of your home or buy groceries where you do, well, you've got to read it. It's plain and simple. In fact, a local independent survey showed that 89.4% of residents who get the magazine read it. So when your company sponsors the magazine, people reciprocate your good deed by patronizing your business. Additionally, many studies show that print and digital work better together. So we created a second touch to provide businesses with even greater access to local high-value customers by geo-targeting the same highly desired neighborhoods with Facebook, Google Display, and our own sports website called BVM Sports. BVM Sports is the only website of its kind where you can find all of your national to local sports coverage from Pee Wee to Pro. By combining print and digital, we provide a multi-channel solution which further integrates your brand into this community. And so your high-valued customers will see you on their coffee table, desktop, and mobile devices. It's plug and play for you. We did other cool things too to make our program work. We use home ownership and home value as the primary demographic. Why? Because when you have a home, you have to mow the lawn or have someone else mow it. Therefore, you're going to buy goods and services to support that. And if a window breaks, clearly, you need to fix the window, which means you're also going to buy further products and services. In fact, we did a survey and we found out that 100% of all the homes in our magazines have floors. That's great news for flooring companies. They also have people inside them who eat, dress, go to college, get loans, enjoy spas, vacations, and other things related, which means that your product and services are going to be targeted right at them. Additionally, the homes don't move, so you know exactly where ads are going. We're effective in making sure that your ad is invited into each home every single month and that it sits on the kitchen table or coffee table while it's enjoyed over and over again. We brand better than anyone. Branding is a two-phase process. First, TOMA. Second, it's feeling good. By combining the long-term proven success model used by major brands, we keep you present long-term, month in and month out, and we do it in a family-friendly, non-controversial setting. We avoid politics and other divisive issues and simply bring neighbors together. Most local businesses get branding very wrong. They splash out a tiny short-term attempt with a direct response mentality. And while some of those campaigns can hold value, great brands use a sponsorship branding approach. We show local businesses how to think like big brands. We're also cost effective. Digital campaigns and direct marketing campaigns can cost up to 10 times what BVM multi-channel branding campaigns would cost. And sadly, most are designed only to be one-hit wonders. We help companies stay present, however, long-term. That branding method can also have a very positive effect on your other advertising. With our multi-channel, all-encompassing community sponsorships, we're the experts in what we do, so you can be the experts in what you do.
There you go. I hope that makes sense. And I want to show you this page because I feel like it's really important. And then I'm going to open up for some questions. And I always want to be very clear in what it is that we do and what it is that we don't do. So in the world of advertising, there's two ends of the spectrum. And one end is pure advertising. as you can see on the left, direct advertising. And that would be things like your direct mail pieces, billboards, bus benches, things like that. And also I want to mention, this isn't a good or bad split. This is just, they're different. And so if your goal is branding, which is what we do, helping people to know you, like you, and trust you, they're not effective for that purpose. And the other end of the spectrum is the sponsorship end. And that is where we lie. And that would be things like, you know, where businesses sponsor things in the community that bring value to the community. Like in Abbotsford, lots of businesses will sponsor, you know, the Run for Water, for example, every year. And that brings value to the community. It's effective for branding. In fact, one fellow wrote me, I get emails and sometimes phone calls from readers, which I love. And one fellow wrote, and he said, I like that we have ads in Mountain Neighbours magazine because it makes me feel good knowing that these businesses are supporting our community. And I was happy to hear that because that is what we're trying to do. And so it's welcomed by consumers. So for us, we get you know, your business in front of high value residents every single month, and they happily bring your business into their home in the context of the magazine. And folks will typically have it in their home on their coffee table throughout the month, or the kitchen counter. One survey showed folks will go into it on an average 5 times a month, you know, versus a direct mail piece, which you know what we do with most of those, straight into recycling. They're really good. The direct mail pieces are really good if you need business now. One thing I would like you to understand is that at any given moment, about 5% of the population need your services. And that's what the direct marketing, the direct mail pieces are super good for. Get those people who need you now. 95% of the population does not need your service now. And that's what we're also really good at, is helping to get top of mind awareness because of the repetition over and over and over again. And then once some of those 95% need your services, then you already have top of mind awareness with them. And let's say they do a Google search, you're like, oh yeah, that one's familiar. Or they go right into the magazine. A month ago, a resident told me, yeah, I needed some landscaping done. So who lives in Eagle Mountain. And she said, I just went in your magazine and I found my landscaper right there. So anyhow, that is where I wanted to go today to help you guys. Actually, there's one more thing. Let me show you. Well, 2 more things. I wanted to show you the digital, what we do, Facebook, Instagram, Google display ads, and BVM Sports. So we layer the distribution area, and then, but our digital can actually go much farther beyond. And so folks will see you in their home, they'll see you on their devices. And so it's a multi-layer campaign. And yeah, the BVM Sports, I'm going to show that to you probably another time. It's a wonderful, it's growing like a weed. It's just exploding, and only our sponsors get to be on that platform. But all we do is we create a print ad for you. Our digital people create the digital ads, and it's plug and play. We manage the campaign, and every month our sponsors get an impressions report. It says exactly how many impressions. We have different bundles, and yeah, it's really a great way for small to medium-sized businesses to get in the game for their digital approach. Because if you go with a regular agency, it'll cost way more, you know, 2,500 on up, probably average of 4,500 a month for just to get in with the agency. And you can have a multi-layer campaign with us for far less than that. But yeah, let me show you a couple pages from a magazine. We always have a family. We tell their story. People love to read it. And folks enjoy sharing what they do. We have all sorts of different contributors. We have content marketing opportunities where folks can write, like here, the chiropractor gets to write an educational article, what you can do to relieve back pain, and we'll write a business profile. So every time a sponsor gets like a whole page from one of their articles, it's a great way to continue to connect with the community. And we have different content, like a calendar of events, which people have thanked me for so much, what's going on in the community, stuff for kids, pictures of people's pets. People love that. Recipes, sports, homes for sale in your neighborhood. That's probably our second most popular page. I put everything in there that's for sale. But anyhow, and then premium placement ads. Let me stop sharing right now, and I'll just mention, we'll go into some questions if you have any, but my ask today, as you're thinking about, oh, Dana has ways to connect businesses in different areas of high value communities across the lower mainland and in the interior on the island. What I'm looking for are community-minded businesses that actually want to invest in the community. And particularly, as I mentioned earlier, I'd like to meet with some franchise owners, and it's a great opportunity for them. So if you know any franchise owners that you think, they might want to just hear about this, and no obligation ever, I'd love to talk to them. Thank you.